You know, some people like Baudère, a 10, you can rate from 1 to 10, or there's some states that rate, you know, to 100. But the difficulty that I see is when you're using a scoring scale, if you, let's say, go from 0 to 100, I've always been of the mind that you need to be able to articulate a rational basis to distinguish between one score and another. And it gets hard to do if, let's say, you can't articulate the distinction between a 47 and a 38. But when we go down to 5, you'll see here on our scoring description table, you've got your basic distinction of the good and the bad, right? And then we break that up, and we recognize that something can be superior, it can be better than just good, it can be excellent. And you reserve your 5s for those things that are truly excellent. And 0 is an absolute score, and so we only reserve that for something that is truly worthless. For example, a blank. Somebody has not filled out something, it's not responsive, or they filled something out, but it is nonsensical, it just does not pertain to this, and we don't understand how it pertains or how it's responsive. It just doesn't look like it is. Then that still leaves people with discretion, obviously from 1 to 5, to rate from something that is poor. It appears to be inferior to something that's marginal. It might be between what we would like to see as the standard acceptability and poor, and something that is good, and something that exceeds that and is excellent. We think that those are very intuitive categories, and in our description you'll see kind of how we define those distinctions. And we think that they give us a rational basis for each of these scores. So again, this isn't to say that's the only scoring system that could be devised, but it's the one we use, and the reasoning process we have there is that we think we can articulate a rational basis for all of these very intuitive distinctions that are part of everyday description when we describe things. Then once we have this agreement that we're going to use this scoring description table, we put it in our RFP that this is the process we're going to use. We let vendors know this is how we're going to be rating you. We train the evaluators so that they're all in agreement too that this is the system. They understand what their scores mean. And then they go through the competing proposals and assign scores to these different sections. After the evaluators have done that individually, our process is that then they come together and discuss their individual scores. And the hope is that we will move towards a consensus, that as the moderator goes through, we have an OSP person goes through with all the evaluators, they might point out, all right, here you scored a 1, you scored a 2, and you scored a 3. Let's talk about why did you score a 1? Why did you, and there'll be that discussion. And during the course of that, some people end up being, their horizons and their perspectives are broadened, right? As they talk to each other, maybe somebody has brought to light something that they hadn't considered, they might change their score, but they are not required to. After everybody has had that opportunity to discuss their reasoning for their score, and they're able to defend, the rational basis for their score, we go through that process for every item, and at the end of it, then we go ahead and average those scores. And the reason we do that is because, one, we think it would be a very difficult process if we only allowed scores if there was a unanimous agreement. There's some jurisdictions that try to do that, but we think it makes more sense to allow people to discuss and see if they can reach agreement. But then what we do to kind of minimize the impact of, let's say, one evaluator who might be really passionate about their position, and it might be very different than everybody else's, and we can't bring them all into alignment, we average. And so that way individual evaluators do have that opportunity to make their claim, to stick by their individual guns, so to speak, but then the consensus is reached mathematically through averaging out these different scores, and that kind of shows what the middle of the consensus would be. So that is our process in a nutshell. Are there any questions about that?
One question I have is, how many evaluators do you have on any particular RFP?
We have a minimum requirement of 3, and if the procurement is over $1 million, we have 5. Those are minimums. We understand that sometimes the difficulty is it's hard to get a lot of people to dedicate the time necessary to do an evaluation, especially that goes through this 2-stage process I just discussed. But if we can get more, we will. For example, recently, the advertising market for the state parks, we had 9 evaluators. And they went through that process, and we thought it was great, but we wouldn't expect always, in every instance to have 9 people who are willing to dedicate time to that.